I think we're live. I'm Linda Easthouse with Can Be Well. Glad to be on today for this moment of encouragement. And I just want to share a story with you today that I had an amazing experience over the last few months working with a preemie baby. And it's been a very interesting journey. Well, I shouldn't say working with the baby, working with the mother of a preemie baby, using the mother as a surrogate to do some work for the baby who's still in the hospital. This baby was born at 24 weeks, has been, of course, obviously in the neonic unit and was intubated when they first contacted me. The baby had been in the neonic for 2 weeks at the time that the mother contacted me. And it's been a very interesting journey. We haven't done a lot of sessions with them, but what has been done has been just amazing to watch the changes and watch the things that happen for the baby. So, as you might guess, most of the work that we've been working on has been around the emotional components of it, and for both the mother and the baby. Of course, because it's COVID, the mother's only allowed to visit the baby for a very short period each day. She gets an update from the nurses once a day beyond that. And so the separation and the usual, stay at the hospital 24 hours a day, somebody be with the baby all the time, that often happens with these kinds of really, really preemie babies, has not been possible. And so it's been very stressful on the whole family. So we've been working together to relieve some of that stress, both for the baby who's feeling the separation very keenly, and for the mother and the father, but primarily for the mother who's feeling that separation as well. So the emotional work has been very, very interesting around separation and around the trauma of being intubated. And we all know that that's a very traumatic experience, and for a tiny baby that can be a horrendously emotional barrier for them to developing properly. And so we've done work around the fears related to being in the neonic alone and being intubated and all those sorts of things. And the nurses there have been great. They've been wonderful about giving the mother updates. They've been really, really supportive. But it's still a very difficult situation for them. And so being able to support them in this area has been wonderful. We also did a little bit of work for the baby around the whole stress of breathing and the stress that trying to breathe with his immature lungs has been. And that was very interesting work as well. And so it's so exciting. I talked with the mother a couple of days ago, and she said that we haven't talked for probably almost a month. Had another appointment yesterday, and so chatted and caught up. She said 2 weeks ago they took him off of the intubation, so they extubated him. And he now just has a nasal cannula with some forced air, but very low pressure. And she said that the nurses keep saying how amazing it is that he's already extubated and he's already able to breathe with just the cannula, and that given how few weeks he's been in the neonic, that it's just amazing that that's happening. And she said she attributes it to the work we've done, because there's another little baby in the bed next to his, in the incubator next to his, was born actually the same day, and it's almost exactly the same gestational age. And he's still on the ventilator and still having trouble with breathing and developing his lungs, and yet here her child is progressing at a phenomenal rate according to the nurses. And so it's really exciting to have that kind of news back, and to see when you deal with all of the emotions and the stress around these things and help the stress be removed, then the body can do so much more on its own. So we weren't working directly on his lungs, but because we were able to remove the stress off of a lot of the emotions and the feelings and the environment for him, it gave the body the ability to do what it naturally does, is grow and heal. So it's really exciting to see how that's progressing along the way, and we're looking forward to even more of that. And the mom said she's feeling a lot more comfortable too, even though there's this separation. And we'll continue to do more work to support them emotionally through this journey, because as they go through the different phases and the different stages of his development, there's obviously going to be new stresses and new things happening, and we'll want to continue to support that. But I just want to get on and share how exciting that is, because when we deal with whatever it is the body wants done, that we can do through bioenergetic wellness approaches to remove stress, to reset emotional patterns, to disconnect from the trauma of things, all of which can be done through muscle monitoring and the approaches that we use, then it just allows the body to do what it naturally does and allows the healing to take place on its own. And it also really shows how well it works as a complementary therapy to support what the medical system is doing. And clearly this is a case where the medical system needs to intervene. They need to be in the hospital. They need to be doing all the things that the medical system is doing for him, and they're very grateful for that. And it seems like they're doing a really great job on it. But even with all that in place, there's no way for that system to address all of this trauma and emotional issues and the separation anxiety and all the things that were going on that were preventing some of its healing and responding to what they were trying to do. And so by working together in this complementary fashion, we're able to really support his growth and development and support what they are doing in a way that makes what they're doing even more effective, because we remove the stress factor from it. So I realize this is a really short one today. I could tell some other stories too, but I just wanted to share that you know, this work can complement whatever else is going on, and it complements it primarily through removing the stress, through separating the trauma, through reconnecting the energy flows through the body, through allowing the body to function energetically at its best so that it can respond to the other things that are being done. It's always you know, for a lot of people it's, well, my doctor says I need to do this, and our response is, you need to listen to your doctor. That's fine. However, there are things we can do to enable your body to respond to that more effectively. We can take off some of the stress of it so that there's less things that interfere with what the doctor is doing, and so on. And so this concept that we are a complement to whatever else you are doing, to enable you to be at your best, to enable you to let go of the stresses that interfere, is really a message that we need to get out to the public in general, that these kinds of bioenergetic wellness things are so important in people's healing journeys, regardless of what it is you're healing from, or regardless of where it is you want to go. And so that's my main message for today is, find a bioenergetic wellness facilitator or specialist who can help you complement whatever else you're doing, who can help you get your energy system smooth and running effectively, and release the stresses so that you don't have those extra things on top. And as you remove those stresses, the body will do what it's naturally designed to do, which is to heal itself and get better and stronger. So, but it's not only in health areas that bioenergetic wellness really has a big effect. I also have another client that I've been working with for, probably almost a year. We did 5 or 6 sessions way back about a year ago, near the beginning, and then another session sort of halfway through, and I haven't done a session with her lately, but just chatted with her recently, and she said she's amazed at how well her business is doing. All the work we did was around mindset, around business model, around how she was working, what she was doing, what she was connecting with, and removing all the stress that gets in the way of those things. Removing all the stress that prevents you from really doing what you know you can do. All the things that sabotage you, all the things that prevent you from following through on your choices, or prevents you from making a choice that you really want to make but feel afraid of in some way, and releasing all those fears and releasing all those old beliefs and old patterns to allow you to just blossom and grow. And so it doesn't matter what area you're working in, what part of life you want to look at, whether it's sports performance. I've worked with lots of sort of semi-professional and professional animals that are involved in all kinds of competitive things, and animals have mental blocks too, and animals have emotional things, and the connection to their human partner that they work with, and all those things. And as you remove stress from any of that kind of stuff, it just allows the body and the person or the being to do their best and to not be hindered by old beliefs and false thoughts and fears and worries and doubts and all those kinds of things. So bioenergetic wellness applies to so many different areas and so many different things, and it just complements whatever else you're doing, and it allows the person to move forward in a better way and to take advantage of all the other things that they're doing. With the animals, I mean, they still have to train, they still have to do their best, but if they don't have the emotional baggage with it, boy, can they excel. And that's the same for people. I've recently been working with a number of students who are really struggling with the school system, having to be, working online and being isolated, and sometimes in class and sometimes not, and back and forth, and school has become an extremely stressful place for them, and of course their performance shows it. And so working on the stresses related to those, working on the flexibility needed to be able to handle the back and forth and the stress around having to be online and not having a teacher present and not getting the attention that they're normally have to support them. And it's showing in their grades that as they lose the stress, they're doing much better on their homework and on their assignments and getting things in and participating online and all those sorts of things. So no matter what it is you're needing to improve, no matter what it is you're working on or what you're facing, removing the stress, working with some bioenergetic professionals who can help you identify where your energy is blocked, where your energy is stuck, where you've got false beliefs, where you've got doubts, fears, worries, etc. And removing that kind of stuff using the bioenergetic techniques and tools that we have will make such a huge difference in how you perform and how those areas of your life grow and develop. That's all I wanted to say for today. Very short and sweet. I hope it's an encouragement to you to check out some bioenergetic wellness possibilities. Be sure you join our group. There's lots more shared in there. There's lots of tips. There's lots of videos that you can follow along with. There's lots of teaching in there. We'd love to see you over in the group if you're not there. Thanks so much, and we'll have someone will be here next week to chat again.